This is the number one tip I would give someone if they said, out of everything you teach on your channel, what's the most important thing I should know? And this is it right here.
Connection established.
Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. So now let's talk about silver. The past week, I've been doing an experiment all for the sake of this video revolving around selling silver. I called different coin shops, even sold a little bit of silver myself just to get down to the nitty-gritty of what is going on nowadays, since selling silver does change. Seems like almost monthly now, with premiums growing or decreasing and different coins gaining popularity, different coins, their design changes yearly and mintage numbers, and all of this can play a huge part in how much that coin is worth. Well, I wanted to make a video about this because I found out something very alarming, and I think this video can help a lot of stackers, new or old. So before we jump into this, I wanted to mention that I am doing a giveaway, and if you want to win free silver instead of buying cheap silver, you can do that by clicking one button. That button is subscribe, and then go enter in the entry video. May the luckiest stacker win. Now, I pulled up an article that was written 2 weeks ago titled How to Sell Silver, 13 Steps, Step by Step. I wanted to break this down just to see what points they make, and maybe I can branch off of these points, or say maybe I don't agree with one of these points, yada yada. You get the point. I do want to also mention this. This video sparked from a conversation I had with an LCS owner. I was just curious one day because I know premiums on Eagles have been going down, but I wanted to see how low. I looked online, got an idea, right? I called a local coin shop and said, how much would you offer for a sealed tube of 2023 Type 2 Eagles, mint direct, directly from the mint, never been touched by human hands, still in the seal, never been touched? And he said, he looked up spot price and he said, I'll give you $2 over spot. And I said, wait, excuse me? You know these are Type 2 2023 sealed Eagles still in the tube directly from the mint? These aren't just random loose Eagles. And I said, okay, well, how much for a round then? And he said, under spot price. I didn't even know local coin shops sold under spot. And I laughed. I said, excuse me, under spot price? And he said, yeah, we have a lot of this and that. And his reasoning for the Eagles is because they have so many. So I didn't even want to go any deeper into semi-numismatic coins like my older pandas or kookaburras, because that would have just been a crap show, to say the least. But when I heard all this, it scared me because a lot of people don't know the differences between, one, we're going to really break down as pawn shops and coin shops, which was a huge difference, but also how to successfully sell. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I'm never planning on selling, or why would you sell right now? It's not even about right now. You have to be prepared, and the more prepared you are with something, the more successful you will be. If you're just aimlessly buying lots of silver and never thinking about how you're going to sell your silver, when it is time to sell, you're going to put yourself in a very tight corner because you haven't been preparing. Guess what? Before I ever buy that ounce of silver online, I think about how I can sell that coin before I even buy it. That has saved me from a lot of bad purchases. Now, once again, you could say, well, as long as you're buying a coin you like, you'll never go wrong, because at the end of the day, you like that coin no matter how well it performs. And yes, that's true, buy what you like. But if you're looking at this to make money to any degree, you always got to think about how you will be able to resell that coin before you even buy it. Which means, what types of silver are you getting into? Are you getting into bullion, or are you getting into semi-numismatic high premium coins? And if you are going the high premium coin route, does the design change every year? Is there higher or lower mintage numbers each year, per year, like Morgan's every year? Massive differential between mintage numbers. Do you know the different types of mint, the Carson City versus Philadelphia mint? Which ones are more rare? Do you know how to determine if it's real or fake silver? How are you going to sell? Where are you going to sell? Are you going to do that Pawn Stars episode where the guy takes all that silver in, those bars, and in a box and just dumps it on the table and cashes out for hundreds of thousands of dollars? That's not realistic nowadays, especially if you do have stuff that's beyond just bullion. Because like I said, that local coin shop owner was willing to pay $2 over spot for an eagle, and he would have said the same thing for the pandas or kookaburras, which are 10 times that, not literally, but probably $30-$40 premiums on these coins. He would pay maybe $2-$3 over spot for. That's why you don't sell to them. You have to cut out the middleman. See, he still has to sell those eagles in those rounds and make a profit. That's why he's charging under spot, because if he buys at spot price, how is he going to make a profit since rounds are basically sold at spot? How is he going to resell an eagle if he has to pay a $5-$6 premium? He won't be able to. And that's why you cut out the middleman, which means selling online. There are benefits to selling directly to your local coin shop. You get cash in hand right away. But is that worth it if you can wait a couple weeks? No, it's not. Selling online is the ideal way to go to maximize your profits, which means more than likely eBay. Well, let's break what it's going to be like to sell on eBay. Let's break this down, because this is probably the most helpful tip I can give any stacker about any situation, any category about silver stacking. This is the number one tip I would give someone if they said, out of everything you teach on your channel, what's the most important thing I should know? And this is it right here, which I don't hear anyone else talking about. When you are selling, you're turning your stack into your business. Your stack right now is going to be essentially a business at some point. Well, let's play the tape through, and let's say it's 20 years from now, silver's exploded, and you're ready to sell. How would you do that? More than likely online. Okay, so where are you going to sell online to? Probably eBay. Well, in a couple decades, who knows? But let's say right now it'd be eBay. Okay, so how many ounces do you have? Let's say you have even something like 1,000 ounces. Okay, so eBay would be 3 to 4 pictures per listing. So that's 4,000 pictures you have to take from your phone, and then save it to your phone, and then email it to yourself. Go on your computer, drag the file of those 3 to 4 pictures onto that one eBay listing, and you have to do that 1,000 times. But not only that, then you have to type out a description. What's the denomination? What's the condition of the coin? What's the pricing? Buying, seller, buyer ratings, seller ratings. Think about this. So what I recommend is this, and this has many benefits. Make an eBay page right now. Sell 1 ounce every couple of months. Just 1 ounce. So then in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, when it's time to liquidate your entire stack, you will have tons and tons of seller ratings, and you will have built a legitimate business already. Call it Fred's Coins, or whatever, whatever a little cool jingle is, because you're already building up a business instead of having to. Do you really think that you're going to be able to just list your entire stack on eBay or wherever in one day and people are going to start buying from you left and right? No. Would you buy from someone that just made their account last week on eBay? I hope not. But if you start now building your business, you will have respectability, you will have the customer base, you will have the seller ratings. It will be easier to liquidate. It's a win-win, instead of just hoping. And even more importantly, you won't have to go through the pain of putting your entire stack online at once. And this is where I kind of got the idea from. This guy emailed me probably 6 years ago. He said, Slayer, I wish I would have thought this through earlier. He's like, I'm retiring, and he's liquidating a stack. And he said, I think this was like the July 2016 high of like $21 silver, something like that. Because this guy was older, he was ready. He didn't care. This wasn't about getting super rich. But regardless, that's not the point. The point is, he said, I wish I would have thought how much effort, how much time it takes to list your stack online. He said, this has been a full-time job doing this, and it is beyond stressful and overwhelming. And it made sense. I mean, this guy has thousands of ounces and he's trying to list all of it online. Imagine how long that would take. Responding to each person, shipping all those thousands of ounces, having to go to the post office back and forth, and like I said, taking those pictures and dragging 3, 4, 5, 6,000 pictures over from your phone to your email, and then dragging that onto eBay. That's why you don't do it all at once. You don't want to do that. And plus, you never want to sell your stack all at once anyways. I know a lot of you aren't ever going to sell. I know I always get the people, well, why would you sell fake money back, or why would you buy or put fake money into real money and then transfer that real money back into fake money? Well, let's say you have to pay off your mortgage or whatever, or get your kids through college. It's not always about just silver as quote unquote real money. Some people do get into this to make fiat back. And that's from the perspective we're looking at. But anyways, that's just some of the stuff I would like to say before this, because when I was calling all these local coin shops and I heard those prices, I felt bad. I actually laughed in the guy's face when he said that. Like, I felt like kind of like an a-hole, and I had to like kind of catch myself, and I was like, that's just crazy, buying an eagle off, or buying a tube of eagles off me for $23.70 over a spot. I mean, that is just insane when I could go sell that coin for $40 online all day, let alone a tube of 20. So I made a post actually on my channel and said, hey, anyone want to buy some silver? I'm selling tubes of eagles, just little stuff, maybe like 1% of my stack. This wasn't about me making money. The whole point was for this video. So I had some people email me. And this is why this is one of the cool things, that I was like, I'm sure I'll find little gemstones of important things when I discuss with these people everything. And this one guy, I charged a tube of eagles for $540. That is extremely cheap. This guy emailed me back and said, well, SD Bullion is offering tubes for cheaper. So I look on SD Bullion, and SD Bullion says they are, but when you go to check out, it's actually $630. ATMEX, same thing. They say discount, 2023 Type 2 Eagles, $600, but when you go to check out, it's $640. I'm charging $100 less than the price they're saying, but technically they have the better prices. It's completely backwards. And then when I showed that guy, I took a screenshot and said, look, this is the same tube I'm selling, 2023 Type 2 Eagles in the Mint Direct sealed tube, same exact tube, but mine's way cheaper, even though he thought he was getting a better deal buying from SD Bullion. And that was kind of the point of this, is to see how people were buying and just the whole thing. Regardless, though, I'm glad that people did reach out. I'm not selling much. I don't think I'm responding to any more emails. Just sold like a tube, or I think 2 tubes total, nothing crazy. But it was interesting. Now let's jump into this article, which is 13 tips on how to sell silver. This is what I think is going to be very interesting, since you already heard my perspective on selling. So I'm curious what they're going to talk about. Number 1, evaluating your silver. Separate your silver into coins, collectibles, sterling, scrap, or junk silver. And this kind of goes along the line of your emergency silver stack as well. Let's say your car breaks down, or you have a medical bill and you don't have enough cash at hand. What silver would you sell first? Do you have a stack set aside where you're telling yourself, if I had to sell any of this, God forbid, if I had to, this is what I would sell? You'd say, well, what's the point? This is why. In times of personal crisis, you are not thinking rationally. So if something happens, hopefully not, but if something happens, your stress levels are already up, irrational decision making, you might sell something you shouldn't have. If you think about it right now while you're calm, cool, collect, you can think it through. Because it hasn't happened, you're cool. if an emergency happens. Because in times of an emergency, you're not thinking rational. You might sell a whole bunch of stuff that you will later regret. But if you think of it right now, your emergency silver stash, maybe it's tubes of rounds or whatever, or a couple kilo bars or whatever, you will be saving yourself and always having a backup. You see why all these things I'm saying have to do with being prepared? Everything is preparing. It's called a silver stacking strategy. We're strategizing. So, figure out what type of silver you have. This will help you choose a strategy for selling it. Bam, strategy. Bullion coins are best for investing. If you have a rare coin, it's most likely part of a collection or hobby. Junk silver refers to all your extra chains issued before 1965. 90% silver. So, number 2, determining your silver. And by the way, a lot of people ask that are new, how do I know if my silver is real or fake? There's lots of ways to test. I mean, there's the ping test, the scratch test. You can weigh it. Silver is such a dense metal, it weighs exactly 1 troy ounce. 1 troy ounce, which is 31 grams, not 28 grams, which is a standard ounce. A troy ounce is 31 grams. But if your coin is fake, silver is very dense, so it's hard to replicate a coin to look like 1 ounce to weigh exactly that same amount and have the same diameter and width and stuff. So it's usually going to weigh like 34 or maybe a little less, like 27, whatever. That's how you know. That's how you know. There's lots of ways, though. Lots of different ways. There's the slide test, the magnet test. There's so many ways. You can just look at it a lot of times. But if you buy from legitimate dealers, you'll never have to worry. I know all of my stack is 100% real because I always bought from very trusted, high reputable dealers. I'm not buying from some random person I met on Instagram. I'm not trading with someone I met in YouTube comments. I'm not buying from some sketchy, flea market. That's very important. Always buy from reputable dealers. And if you want to buy some, email info@milesfranklin.com. Andy Scheckman's the CEO. Very, very reputable company. Send them an email. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. That is info@milesfranklin.com. You can buy $10 million worth of silver. You can buy $10 worth. You could buy $100 billion worth. You could buy any amount. No minimum, no maximum. So, yeah, let them know Silver Slayer sent you. But number 4, research potential value of your coin. That's a good point. How do you determine what your coin is worth? You might have the rarest coin, but if and let's say this, you have a coin that's, let's say, like my 2017 Dragon and Phoenix with the mirrored gap behind it, only like 1,000 or so coins, I think like 1,900 of these were issued where there's a mirrored gap behind the Phoenix's head. It's supposed to be matted. And in 2017, I bought these coins right when they came out from Modern Coin Mart. Well, this is from the Australian Mint, and Australia is right by Florida where Modern Coin Mart is located. So Modern Coin Mart was the first dealer to get these coins in. And since I was one of the first to buy them, I ended up getting 3 of the mistakes before they stopped. They caught the mistake and they fixed it. So I was sitting with one of the most rare coins. How would I price that? I could say the coin is worth $20,000, but if nobody's buying that coin for $20,000, if no one's willing to pay that price, is it really that price? No. You could say that penny you found it's unique is $1 million, but if nobody's willing to pay $1 million for it, is it really $1 million? No. You have to have an idea. You have to have an idea. You can take it to get appraised. You can look online. You can go to like the buy it now tab on eBay and see what they have recently sold for. There's lots. Choosing a buyer, that's important as well. Are you going to sell online or in person at your local coin shop? Coin shows can be interesting. I've never been to a coin show. Andy Scheckman was just at a conference yesterday, silver conf. I think it was like the Silver Symposium. He speaks at conferences all the time. He travels the freaking world, talking, and I want to join him. I want to like vlog. I want to go to like these conferences and vlog it, get a behind the scenes look, interview some people there. I think that'd be so cool. And we haven't really seen like a individual silver stacking channel do that before. It's always like Kitco News or something. You never seen someone like me just fly out, vlog the plane ride a little bit, and just kind of get a behind the scenes of my experience going to this conference. I think that'd be so cool. And I asked Andy if I could do that, and obviously he's down. He said I could stay at his house in Florida if I wanted for a couple days or however long. That's also why Miles Franklin's such a cool company, is because like I'm very good friends with the CEO. So like if anything were to go wrong with your order, I could call him on my cell phone and he would fix it instantly. So like it's like a safety net. It's like buying from your friend compared to some random person online. There's a lot of advantages to that. Besides them just also being one of the most reputable dealers out there. So this is eBay, obviously. Research all your options. Don't rush. Very good. So that was 8. I don't see 13. They said there's 13 steps. I guess they did like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but then doing part 2. So I guess it technically is 13. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good article. They didn't hit all the parts that I did, like in the intro, the first half of this video. And that's why it's important to subscribe to channels like mine. Because imagine if someone just read this. It's very cut and dry, doesn't show any experience or behind the scenes. This is all stuff this person could have just Googled and put their own. They could have just copy pasted this stuff. But you saw when I was explaining it, there's a lot more experience behind it and a lot more helpful tips beyond just evaluate your silver. Determine if it's silver, sterling, or plated. No, I'm telling you, hey, if you make an eBay page right now, you can start listing it, because it could be overwhelming taking all those thousands of pictures to your phone and putting it online and building a buyer or seller ratings down the line instead of I'm telling you guys actual tips because I have experience. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I know this was a longer video. I appreciate and love all you guys. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe because I post daily videos. And I am on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.